Yeah, welcome back. In our previous session, we have discussed the concept of hybridization. In today's class, I am going to explain about some of the important aspects and applications of hybridization. So, with this today's lecture, you are going to close this session of hybridization and we get into the next level. Now, let us have a look. You all aware you have three types of hybridations. One is SP. One second. One is SP hybridization. The other one is SP2 hybridization. The other one is SP3 hybridization. Well, students, in SP hybridization, what is the percentage of S character? The percentage of S character here is percentage S character and percentage P character. Very important. The percentage of S character in SP hybridization is 50% and P character is 50%. Agreed or not? SP. Here percentage of S character in SP2 hybridization. What about SP2 hybridization? What about SP2 hybridization? What is the percentage of S character? So you know very well, here it is 25% and here we have 75% is P character, and here we have 33.3% S character, 66.6% P character. So this is very important. Okay, here SP hybridization, 1 S orbital 1 P orbital, so 50-50, and 1 S orbital 2 P orbitals, so 33.3 66. So here 1/4 is S character. 1/4 means what? 25% is the S character. Here 3/4 is the P character. So these are the some of the basics you are expected to know. Why? Let us see here. Now, because I'm going to teach you something. SP hybridization, SP2 hybridization, SP3 hybridization. Now listen very carefully. Here as you go this way, percentage S character decreases and percentage P character increases. This is a very important point. So what is the basic understanding of increasing percentage S character? Try to understand. Now in the next slide I am going to explain SP, SP2 and SP3 hybridations. So for example, here as you go this way, here percentage of S character decreases, so electronegativity also decreases. You have to know one thing, when percentage of S character increases, electronegativity also increases. Very important. Why? I am going to explain something for you. Let us take here C2H2, C2H4, C2H6, and you have studied already these three. One is called ethine and this is called ethane. This is ethene and this is called ethane. And you already know the basic structure. So H, C, triple bond C, H. Here the structure is CH4 is as follows, and C2H6 is as follows. Now let us understand here. Here this is SP hybridization and this is SP2 hybridization and this is SP3 hybridization. Now have a look. As you go up, percentage S character is increasing, electronegativity is increasing, and bond length decreases. If you see here, CH bond here, the bond length is less. If you see, the bond length will be less. Bond length decreases. So have a look here. So here what happens to the bond length? This bond length is less here than this bond length. Try to understand. I'll explain the next slide. For example, triple bond CH double bond CH and single bond CH if you take. Okay, here as you go up, you know very well, percentage S character increases, bond length decreases, you know very well, but bond strength increases. What is it? Bond dissociation energy increases. When S character, percentage S character, again you can write like this, percentage S character is directly proportional to bond dissociation energy, inversely proportional to bond length. What about bond angle? Bond angle also is directly proportional. How? I'll tell you. Have a look here. SP to SP3, if you take students, have a look. Now, bond angle in SP is 180 degrees, SP2 is 120 degrees, and SP3 is 109 degrees. So, as you move this way, percentage of S character decreases, so bond angle decreases. That's why percentage of S character is directly proportional to bond angle, inversely proportional to bond length, and directly proportional to bond dissociation energy. Because triple bond is difficult to break. For example, if you take here C triple bond CH, C double bond CH, C single bond CH. Now, if you observe, students, so very carefully, this bond strength and this bond strength and this bond strength, if you consider, so this 1, this is 2 and 3. So 1 is greater than 2 is greater than 3, because percentage S character increases. As you go up, what happens? Percentage S character increases, because this is SP hybridization, this is SP2 hybridization, and this is SP3 hybridization. These are some of the intricate things which you are expected to know. As percentage S character increases, electronegativity increases, so bond length decreases, so bond angle increases, so bond dissociation energy bond BDE you can write, or BS. So bond dissociation energy increases. Yeah, I hope you are very comfortable with the explanations being offered for you. And let us move on to the next slide. Now, you all aware ammonia, PH3, ASH3, SBH3, and BiH3. Now, we are all well convinced that these are all having what hybridization? SP3 hybridization. What structure? They are having pyramidal structure. Students, but there is one problem. What is the problem? The problem is, I am writing here, as you go up, what happens to the bond angles? So let us have a look. So I am saying here bond angles increases. So I am going to take you to the next slide. That means ammonia bond angle, PH3 bond angle, ASH3 bond angle, SBH3 bond angle, and BiH3 bond angle. So if you compare, ammonia is greater than, PH3 is greater than, ASH3 is greater than, SBH3 is greater than BiH3. Why? Let us have a look. So the structure of ammonia is as follows. This is the structure of ammonia. Similarly, structure of PH3 is also this way only. PH3 is also this way. Similarly, structure of ASH3, arsine, is also pyramidal structure. Similarly, structure of SBH3 is also in a similar way. The last one, bismuthine, BiH3, is also this way. Now, we are going to comment on the bond angles. Listen very, very carefully. First of all, which is the most electronegative atom? So nitrogen is the most electronegative atom. When nitrogen is the most electronegative atom, the electron density is going to concentrate over here. Try to understand. When the electron density is concentrate near to the nitrogen, naturally what happens then? When it is near to the nitrogen here in these places, what happens? So bond pair repulsion increases. Bond pair BP repulsion increases because electronegativity of central atom is more. Central atom is more. Electron density is concentrated near the nitrogen. Electron density is concentrated near nitrogen. I hope you understood. Now phosphorus is less electronegative. That's why slightly it will be more. So bond angle will be less than ammonia because BP is less. Bond pair repulsion is less. Here electronegativity. So if you see, as you go this way, electronegativity decreases. So bond angle decreases because bond pair repulsion decreases. So try to understand, students. So if you see here very clearly, so electronegativity of central atom is directly proportional to bond angle. And if you see ammonia, if you see clearly, ammonia and bismuthine, let us take last one, bismuthine. Let us take Bi, H, and H. Now, if you see here, electron density is concentrated over here. Here, electron density is concentrated over here because bismuth, hydrogen is slightly electronegative than bismuth. So, here repulsions will be more. Bond pair repulsions will be more. So, increases. So, here BP repulsions decreases. I hope you understood. So that is the reason why here, because of these repulsions, what happens? This bond angle will be more. So it's a very, very important. So it's a very, very important understanding. What is the understanding? The understanding is, so electronegativity, you can take here, electronegativity of central atom is directly proportional to bond angle. This electronegativity central atom is very important. Central atom is directly proportional to bond angle. I hope you are very clear. Now let us take another example of a water molecule. You know very well, students, water molecule is having two lone pairs. Similarly, H2S, let us take H2S. Similarly, H2SE, hydrates of 6th group. Let us take H2TE. So let us compare these bond angles. Students, here you know very well, oxygen is more electronegative, so electron density will be concentrating here. But here tellurium is considered, electron density will be concentrating over here. So in this case, BP repulsion increases. So bond angle will be more. In this case, BP repulsion is less. So bond angle will be less. Bond angle is less. So I hope you understood. So as you go this way, electronegativity increases. So naturally bond angle increases. That is the one of the reason why. So H2O bond angle, one second, write properly. So if you see here, in this case, H2O is greater than, H2S is greater than, H2SE is greater than H2TE. Very good. So I hope you understood about this concept. Now I am going to give another concept. Now you have seen electronegativity of the central atom. Now I am going to talk about electronegativity of the surrounding atom. Now let us take here, students, water molecule and OF2, fluorine molecule. Okay, OF2. So here Students, whose electronegativity is more? Surrounding atom is more here. This is surrounding atom. Okay. So when surrounding atom is more, here what happens? Here this is the hydrogen, oxygen. In both cases oxygen is same. Here fluorine electron density is concentrating near here. So bond pair repulsion will be less. BP is less. So naturally water is having more bond angle than this. So now electronegativity of surrounding atom is directly proportional to bond angle, or inversely proportional. Sorry, it is inversely proportional to the bond angle. So now have a look here. It is inversely proportional to the bond angle. Very, very important. Yeah. Now there is one exception is there. I am going to explain about the exception case. So let us understand about the exception. Exception is, for example, water molecule if you take, OCl2 if you take, OF2 you take here, OF2 you take. Now there is an exception in these cases. So that means exception means something expected than something other than expected. So naturally here, if you apply the surrounding atom, it should be 1, 2, 3 actually. This should be the case. Surrounding atom is considered electronegativity, which case is more? So actually order should be, bond angle order should be like this. So bond angle order should be, first bond angle will be this one, second will be this one, third will be this one. This is observed. This is expected, sorry. This is expected. Expected bond angle. Expected bond angle. But observed is as follows. Observed bond angle is as follows. Observed bond angle is, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. What is the reason? The reason is very simple. The reason is, chlorines are bigger atoms, so here repulsion will be less. Repulsions will be more. When repulsions are more, bond angle will be more. So here more repulsions more repulsions due to larger size of Cl, larger size of Cl. So according to electronegativity of this surrounding atom, what happens? This is more. Surrounding is fluorine is greater than, chlorine is greater than oxygen. So bond angles will be reverse, but here it is not happening. Why? Because there is an exception. Now let us take one more thing. SOCl2, SOF2, SOBr2. Let us compare the bond angles. First of all, let us know what is the structure. H is equal to half into V plus M minus C plus A. So half into valence is sulfur 6. Number of monovalent atoms is 2. It comes out to be 4. Out of 4, 3 bond pairs. So 1 lone pair. So it is a pyramidal structure. Yes, pyramidal structure. O, Cl, like this. Pyramidal structure is there. Okay. This is SOCl2. Okay. Now let us work out these examples. Okay. In the next slide. Now SOF2. This is SOF2. It is having a pyramidal structure. One second. Let us write properly. So SOCl2. SOCl2. And next case is SOBr2. SOBr2. Now have a look, students. In this case, central atom is same. Electronegativity central atom is same. And surrounding atom is considered. Have a look. Surrounding atom is considered. Which is more electronegative? Fluorine. Right? So fluorine is greater than, chlorine is greater than bromine. Now you know very well, electronegativity of central atom, surrounding atom. No, in this case, electronegativity of surrounding atom is inversely proportional to bond angle. Because here electron density is there. Agreed? Here electron density is there. In this case, here electron density is there. So here bond angle. So as you go this way, bond angle increases because electronegativity decreases. Electronegativity decreases. Very, very important. This question is asked in the competitive examination. I hope you are very clear. Yeah. Now, so these how. So some bond angles relation or bond strength related questions may appear in the examination. So you have to know the basics. So the grounding, proper grounding foundation is required. Now let us solve some important questions. So this question is asked in the competitive examination. CO2, CO3, 2 minus. CO3, CO2, CO3, 2 minus. What about the bond angles? What about the bond angles? Very simple. So in this case, H is equal to half into V plus M minus C plus A. It comes out to be half into 4 plus 0 minus 0 plus 2. It comes out to be 3. So it is trigonal planar. So in this case, it is trigonal planar. Bond angle is 120 degrees. In this case, bond angle is 180 degrees. So this is CO2 structure, and CO3 minus structure is trigonal planar structure. I hope you understood this. Now, most important example asked many times in the complex, NO2 minus and NO2 plus. So what about the bond angles? Bond angles. Very important question, and students generally they do mistake. So what is that mistake? Let us see. Now NO2. You have studied in the Lewis theory, nitrogen NO2 is having one single unpaired electron. Single unpaired electron. Single unpaired electron. Do you agree or not? You can write here the day 2 bond also, no problem. Now NO2 minus, students have a look carefully. NO2 minus, students minus, or you can write one day 2 bond like this, that's better. Okay. Here also I write one day 2 bond. Okay. So that you will be happy. This is one day 2 bond. So now NO2 minus means what? So that means one more, this is one electron, and one more electron is added. This is minus, NO2 minus. So NO2 plus, students have a look here. NO2 plus means what? Linear structure, because that electron is gone. What is gone? This electron is gone. Agreed or not? No electron is there because this is NO2 plus. I'm sorry. This is NO2 plus. So this electron is gone, NO2 plus. Now see the bond angles. Now here it is 180 degrees bond angle. 180 degrees. Now here it is 111 degrees. Here it is 130 degrees, 132 degrees. Why? Because here we have a lone pair. Lone pair, what happens? There is a repulsion, so bond angle will be less. Here you have an unpaired electron. One unpaired electron is there in NO2. Unpaired electron is there in NO2. So very systematically, logically, with proper understanding, you should arrive at the structures. So you know very well, in NO2 plus what happened? In NO2 plus what happened? So the unpaired electron is lost. Unpaired electron is lost. Bond angle is, this is linear structure. You got a bond angle. So this is first highest bond angle. And in NO2, one unpaired electron is there. That is the second one. In NO2 minus, what happened? This is third. Why? Because you have a lone pair. So lone pair, there is a repulsion. So thereby what happens? Bond angle, you can write bond angle decreases. Bond angle decreases. So this type of questions may appear in the examination. So where you have to work out with a proper logic. Now, for example, if somebody gives SCF3 plus, so what you do? SCF3 plus, how to solve? H is equal to half into V plus M minus C plus A. Students, have a look here. That is equal to half into valency is 6, number of molar atoms is 3, minus 1 plus 0. It comes out to be 8 by 2, that is 4. 4 means definitely it is having a pyramidal geometry. What geometry, students? Pyramidal geometry. This is plus. Because out of 4 bond pairs, 4 electron pairs, 3 bond pairs are there, and 1 lone pair is there. What geometry is it? It is pyramidal geometry. What geometry? Pyramidal geometry. Next, one more thing, let us take here XeO6 4 minus, XeO6 4 minus. Let us solve this question. H is equal to half into V plus M minus C plus A. So try to apply this logic here. H is equal to half into, what is the valency? 8, number of monovalent atoms 0, minus charge in the cation 0, charge anion is 4, total it is 12, 12 by 2, that is equal to 6. So 6 means, what is the hybridization? sp3 d2, that is octahedral structure. What structure? Octahedral structure. So this is O minus, O minus, O minus, O minus, and this is double bond O, and this is double bond O. So this is perzenic acid, perzenate. So this is called octahedral structure. This is called perzenate. Perzenate. Okay. Well, now let us take another example. XeF6. It's a very important question. XeF6. Students, in XeF6, what happens? H is equal to half into V plus M minus C plus A. Apply it here. Half into valency is 8. 8 plus 6, that is going to be 14, that is 7. So 7 means sp3 d3 hybridization. But out of 7, 6 are bond pairs. What happens then? So XeF6, I am showing you. I am going to explain. Just one second. We are going to explain this with a proper theory. Xenon is, you know very well, 5s2 5p6. 5s2 5p6. 5s2 5p6. Xenon star, if you take here, it comes out to be now excite the electrons. Now these 3 electrons, if you excite, it is sufficient. So it is having sp3 d3 hybridization. But the problem is there is one lone pair. So sp3 d3 means what hybridization? It is nothing but pentagonal bipyramidal structure you have to write. Agreed? Pentagonal bipyramidal structure you have to write. Now here we have a one lone pair, and remaining all will be as follows. So as follows. This is F, 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 F. So pentagonal bipyramidal structure with one lone pair is called distorted octahedral. If you see, observe carefully, you get distorted octahedral. This is called distorted octahedral structure. It is asked once in the examination. So this is sp3 d3 hybridization with one lone pair. With one lone pair. This is called distorted octahedron. I hope you are very clear about it. Now let us see some more examples. Let us see. Now students, examiner basically he may give any type of question. So but we have to solve with a proper strategy. For example, he may give PCl6 minus. So how to solve? Now PCl6 minus, it is as follows. H is equal to half into V plus M minus C plus A. Now solve this question. Hybridization is equal to valency is 5, monovalent atoms is 6, minus 0 plus 1. So it comes out to be 6. 6 means it is a octahedron. It is a octahedron. Agreed or not? Agreed. So now we can, this is Cl. How many Cl's are there here? Check out. This is Cl, 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 Cl. This is P. So PCl6 minus. This is octahedral structure, octahedral geometry. Now let us see here one more example. PCl4 plus, PCl4 plus. So PCl4 plus is as follows: H is equal to half into V plus M minus C plus A. Now if you see, half into valency is 5 plus 4 minus 1, it comes out to be 4. Agreed? So naturally it is having a tetrahedral structure. What structure? Tetrahedral structure with a sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization. Yeah. Students, mind you, I have given you SOCl2, SO2Cl2. These two are different. One is having pyramidal structure. SOCl2 is having a pyramidal geometry. I'm sorry. SOCl2 is having a pyramidal geometry. SO2Cl2 is having a tetrahedral geometry. Is having a tetrahedral geometry. So this is pyramidal and this is tetrahedral. But one thing, one second, tetrahedral. But one thing, both are having sp3 hybridization. Both are having sp3 hybridization. So this is how any number of questions effortlessly one can solve. So in the hybridization concept. So I hope today so you got some understanding about bond angles, bond lengths, electronegativity, yeah, and so on. So I hope you require a lot of practice. So and work out as many examples as you can, so to consolidate this concept, because this is a very important concept for all the competitive examinations. So thanks for bearing. Have a good day.